Morning, Jules here. Welcome to my channel. And we've done like journal page folios and things. So this is a matchbook or book of matches, but it's a little scrap pad. Now some people, when they do it, they put the scrap pad from here. I don't. I like to do it like what you do with a book of matches, and this is literally using scraps of paper that I've got left from wedding stationery, scrap pads and everything. There's scrap bits of lace, burlap, and there is some ephemera. Now if you're part of my Facebook group, you will get free printouts that I don't put on Ko-fi. I do freebies every Tuesday on Ko-fi, and it's a take and create, but I do also do freebies on my Facebook group, and it's just it's a thank you for supporting me on my Facebook group, the same as the take and create is a thank you for my YouTube and my Ko-fi supporters. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple of these. We're going to try and do a mass make, but we'll see how we go. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stick these down. Now I've got this great big huge glue stick, and I got it from a shop called The Range here in the UK. It's called Giant Glue Stick. It's 115 grams. It's just like any other glue stick. It sticks as long as you put plenty on it. There we are. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll see if we can get 6 done. Now, when I did that one, I didn't do any measurements. So, what I want, I'm not really bothered. If you want the writing up the right way, if you're not going to put a lot of you know, and not a lot of decoration on the front of your matchbook, then just do it that way. So what I do then is that's come down what I think looks right. It's 3.5 inches. Then this one, the bottom, I turn up just so it catches, you see, because you don't want it to tuck in too much, but you just want it enough so that you can bend it like that and open it, because this is going to have your pages in, and it's also going to be stapled. Or you can use a crocodile and put it in with grommets and things like that. So there we are. So I'll just some of these are different size book pages, so it depends on your book page. Again, I'm just putting it down, so that's just under 3.5. So it's just what looks okay for you. And again, just if you do that test, if you put it up too much, it's not, well, it will, but it won't, because once you've got your staple in. There we are. And these are a bit rough on the edges. I might trim them down, I might not. There we are. And that one, just over 3.5. That's under an inch. What's that one? It's about 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch, so roughly about 3.5 and 3/4 of an inch. The fold, the bottom fold. Yeah. So there we are. You don't have to use book page. I'm just doing this so that you know you can use all your book pages. You can do it with digitals. Yeah. And a digital you don't have to decorate as much, but we'll do one. There you are, and that's been printed on kind of quite, I think, 160 GSM. So what I want to do now is I'm going to use Scotch Timber. I was using Friar Brown. And this is how you can make your papers look old. Walnut stain. This is a kind of a and as you see, that's kind of a lighter, and then I'm just going over, and it just makes it look that little bit old. It makes the pages look a little bit more patinaed. So what we want now is now I've got strips of paper now. These are just strips that have been stuck in a tray, or well, actually a box, for a while, because it's from when I was doing albums, and these were just the cut-offs. So I'm just sorting that out. Alright, so we'll start with this one. So what I'm doing is I'm just folding it just so there's a tiny little bit of difference. And the same, folding it round. Some of them I'll do the same, but and that's why if you do it at like 7 instead of a little bit more, then it gives you a little bit more give. Now it might be too long, we'll see. Yep, it's too long, so all I do there is I just fold that over. Be careful you don't cut your book page. And that folds like that. And then I take my stapler and I just staple it twice like that. So we've got one there. And again, that in the middle, and don't staple it in the middle, just kind of keep it, you know, catching the paper but as near to this edge as possible, and then bend that over like that and just trim the excess off, fold it back over, and there we are, dead easy. And now to decorate. So if you wanted to, you could just mass make a load like that and put them in a little box ready for when you're doing your journals, and then you can decorate them as and when, you know, to match your the theme. Okay, so I'm just it's too big. There we go. Too big. That and go. That's too big. It's small. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink around these. And I think we'll put a bit of music paper on there as well. So you can use anything, you don't have to and I think we might have a little bit of a label on this one. Okay, now what I am going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a digital over that, so trim a little bit off. Now on that one I rounded the corners, on these I'm not going to bother. I might not, but and that's a little bit too big, so didn't. So there we are, got that one. We'll do this one. I think we'll have a little bit of burlap on this one. Take some that one's yeah, we'll have it on the side. Now I'm just inking around the edges. And what I will do is I will use a little bit of that's fabric glue that I've used. And what I am going to do is I'm going to go back to my ground espresso because I just want the edges darker. And I'm not being too neat. Yeah, and I'm just looking at, I've got some washi tapes here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this. No, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use this one, the spotty one. Now these I think I got in Cyprus at a place called Jumbo. And it's just like a big, sells everything. I wouldn't, it's cheap, but it's not that cheap. It's probably cheap in Cyprus. Cyprus isn't a cheap place at all, I wouldn't say. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, and have a look at these labels, wordy labels I got from Temu. Dance in the Rain. Quite like that. And there we are. And we'll do this one, so I'm going to use that's the wrong way. do we want on this one? I think we might put a butterfly. Yeah, that one. Okay, I'm going to put this one on. When you know better, you do better. And I'm just going to put this one along where the staples are. Okay. And what else are we going to do? I know I said this one was too big, but I quite like it. So I think I'm going to cut that off there. Look at this one. Quite like that. So up there. Again, I'm using Trimet's fabric glue. Right. It's sticky and it does stick well, but it's not as quick sticking as Fabri-Tac, I must admit. underneath. And I'm going to put that one on there. Alright, we've got some script washi tape here that I'm just going to put over here. You don't have to cover the staples up if you don't want to. There we are. And another one. And I'm going to cut this in half. Got some peach ribbon here. No. Yep. Again. Do a bit of music. No. Yep. About a bit of this. Nope. Use a bit of digital. I've got glue on my fingers, so it's attracting all the bits of thread. and music. Music goes with any theme of journal. And then we can put some music ribbon. And I think we might have a all you need is love. Okay, and then we've got last one, and what we're going to do on this one, okay, so we've got some clustery bits. Again, if you're part of my Facebook group, you'll have already seen these because I put out 3 sheets of clusters, because we have monthly challenges and I do try and help a little bit. So it's clusters and we're just adding little bits onto. First one was a bumblebee, the second week was add a daisy. So you can put anything on your cluster, but you just need to add a daisy, incorporate a daisy into it basically. So we'll have that there, and okay, we will have being with you calms my soul. Quite like that. These are quite sticky actually. And then I think we might have a bit of lace. That's just what was left over from the hearts, but I really don't want that colour. Alright, we'll do this one. Again, using Trim It fabric glue. And what I am going to do is I'm going to cut a bit of this off because I don't like the top. So I'm cutting that off, and you can, with your lace, you can cut bits off, you don't have to have it all. And again, trim that there and trim that there. Now, so that's us completed them. So just right. So here we are. Lots and lots of vintage bookmarks that will go in any journal. So this is the B journal, so that'll go in one of these pockets, and that's the music one. That one would go in, that one would, that one, that one, that one, and they'll go on any, even the butterflies. So I hope you get something from this. As I've already shown you, you don't have to do them with book page. You can do them with digitals or pretty papers, and then you've got your little scrap pad to write on, and it tucks in there. And what I'm looking for is, see, there's a belly band, so we're tucking a belly band. Pockets, we've got pockets, so we've got one here that's not big enough, but there you are, or at the top there. So yeah, so you've got lots and lots of I like that one, and I think maybe I would put that one in there, or even this is the Daisy page, Daisy digital page, and it'll go in there, or it'll go in there. It's entirely up to you. Oh. But there we are. So I hope you get something from that. Hope you'll have a go. They are fun to make. I've quite thoroughly enjoyed it. I might have been quiet through it, because sometimes when I'm concentrating on crafting, I forget to talk, sometimes forget to breathe. But anyway, enough waffle, and I'll see you in the next video. And just before I do go, I'm just letting everybody know, and I'm just kind of repeating it on every video at the moment, I am slowly cutting back on putting my video links onto Facebook groups. One of the reasons is it takes up a lot of time. Another reason is I'm going away to the USA for quite a few weeks, and I don't always get time to do it. So if you've come to me from a link on a Facebook group, unless it's mine, because I will always put it on mine, and that's Junk Journals at JT Creations. But if you've come from any other group, you might not see me. So I would, if you want to stay and keep up and keep watching each video that I do, subscribe, hit the bell reminder, and it'll notify you when my next video comes out. My videos are always Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. But or you can subscribe to my join my Facebook group and you'll see me on there. I will be on my other social medias, Instagram, Pinterest, Ko-fi and things like that. But if you want to stay with me, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it for you to join us and craft along with us. So I'll see you. Bye.